Don't you like the omelette?
What?
The omelette, don't you like it?
I don't know. I haven't tried it.
Well, they're not especially good cold.
Rick Weber.
What about him?
He's another one.
Another what?
Another one who I've heard.
I'm not following you.
First Bobby, then Rick.
You mean because you arrested Bobby for Brock's murder and now Jimmy?
Right.
You were just doing your job.
Lately, I'm finding that increasingly difficult to do.
Why?
Because it's always affecting my friends.
Oh, don't be silly. You just solved a very difficult case. And you saved Bobby from going to jail. You should be on top of the world today.
Really? Then how come I don't feel that way?
Never seen you like this before.
Another exciting aspect of my personality.
Oh, I wouldn't call it exciting. It's more like disturbing.
Well, I'm hardly over the edge.
No, not... I mean, it's disturbing for me.
Well, I don't mean to be down.
You don't have to apologize, sweetheart. It's just I don't like to see you like this. You know what it is that's wrong?
I don't, really. I mean, I guess I'm restless.
Well, that adrenaline that you needed to solve the case just hasn't gone yet.
Maybe.
It's just let down after the case.
What do you mean?
Well, there's no more planning, no more strategy meetings. All of a sudden, there's nothing to do, I understand.
Look, you know, I've finished cases before. I never felt like this. Maybe I'm bored.
With what? Me?
How could you possibly think I could ever get bored with you?
Well, I'm not totally without insecurity.
You need have none in that area.
Well, what is it then? Is it Port Charles?
What do you mean?
Well, after Mexico, maybe it doesn't seem very glamorous.
True, it's not, but it does have other... It has another appeal to me.
But really, you know, if you ever do want to move, you just tell me. I'll drop everything and I'll live wherever you want to.
You mean that?
Even Australia.
Wow, that's devotion.
Hmm.
No, it's not the town. I've come to love Port Charles much the same way that Luke did. You know, it's got a sense of loyalty, community. Port Charles is like home to me.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because it's home to me, too. We've got to get you out of this sad mood.
Well, I'm sad. I'm just restless.
Well, maybe when you get into the office today, something there will cheer you up. That'll be something interesting.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I'm not going into the office.
You know, you're working home today?
The computer's on the fritz, so I'm waiting for a WSB guy to come around and fix it.
Well, maybe after it's fixed.
Then I've got to do all this cleaning up for the DA and his upcoming case.
Oh, sounds like you're going to be busy if the trial starts on Friday.
If it's on Friday.
Do you think Jimmy's lawyer is going to ask for postponement?
Definitely. They need all the time they can get to prepare the thing.
I just hope Bobby doesn't have to be involved in it anymore.
My, don't we look smashing. Off to Delphina's for some shopping?
Don't make me out to be such a dilettante just because you're bored and grouchy this morning.
Sorry. Well, where are you going?
To the hospital. It's Bobby's first day back.
Should be a rough one.
Well, that's what I thought, so I thought I'd go over and give her a little moral support.
Good idea. Give her my love.
I will.
Scorpio.
Robert, Lee Baldwin, morning.
How are you, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I'm fine. About the first day in weeks, I haven't had a hectic day. Finally getting around to calling you to talk to you about something I've been meaning to talk to you about.
What's that?
Well, it's rather personal, Robert. You know, I called your office. They told me you were at home, and I'd kind of like to stop by. I assume you're freed up now that you have solved the Brock murder.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I'm not goofing off over here. I mean, I've got some trouble with the computer.
Robert, you don't have to convince me you are a conscientious commissioner. And by the way, congratulations on the splendid work you did on that case.
Thank you.
I'll see you in a bit, huh?
Yeah.
What did Lee want?
He's dropping by to discuss something personal with me.
Well, I wonder what that's all about.
Haven't a clue.
Well, if it's anything romantic, adventurous, or intriguing, count me in.
What if it's boring, tedious, and backbreaking?
Well, that's what police commissioners are appointed for.
Thank you.
Just kidding.
By the same token, I hope he has an interesting proposal for me.
Like what?
Anything to save me from the rigors and restrictions of being a police commissioner.
Heard a lot of stories about you, Mr. Scorpio.
Have you?
Yes, sir. You're quite a legend at WSB.
Well, how long have you been with the WSB?
Just over a year, sir.
Get to see much action?
I couldn't say, sir.
No, I guess you couldn't. Sorry.
Well, I guess you've seen some pretty interesting cases. I mean, being a computer whiz and all.
Between me and you, sir, it's been the most exciting year of my life. I took a slug in the abdomen down in Nicaragua a few months ago, so I'm doing R&R fixing computers now.
See if you can fix mine.
What seems to be the problem, sir?
Well, this blinking light circuitry here seems to indicate there's a problem. I'd like to check it out if you can.
Anything else, sir?
Check all channels, especially Interpol. Excuse me.
Hello, Robert.
Come in. Hope I'm not disturbing your work.
As a matter of fact, you're saving me for some paperwork regarding the Ginny Blake case.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised somebody took a shot at Brock, but I never thought it would be her. Have you seen Rick?
Yeah. He, came in when she confessed.
It's just horrible. I think that woman has meant nothing but grief to him.
Seems like it.
I mean, I think of Leslie, the wonderful marriage the two of them had. And he just doesn't deserve this much tragedy, you know.
No. Can I get you anything?
No. I'll get right down to our business.
Please.
It's about your job.
Anything wrong?
No, on the contrary, everything is right. You know, it's going to be 2 years this fall since you were appointed police commissioner, Robert. You realize that?
Has it been that long?
And you have done a superb job, Robert, and everybody in Port Charles wants you to stay on.
Well, I'm a long way off from making that decision.
Well, I want you to start thinking about it right now, Robert.
Yeah, what's the hurry?
Well, frankly, I'll just sleep a lot better if I know I can count on you to be on the team here in Port Charles. And, Robert, there are a couple of changes I'd like to talk to you about, in the department.
What are those?
Well, I was thinking that perhaps the police department is operating too much as an isolated unit. Now, I thought we could start perhaps by assigning some man as liaison between the police department and the mayor's office. Now, what do you think of that?
Hello, Holly. How are you, Georgia? Oh, I'm fine. I hope you're not sick.
Oh, no, I can see Bobby.
Just missed her. She's in Dr. Hardy's office with Rick.
Weber?
Mm-hmm. Dr. Hardy wanted to talk to both of them. Yes, I know.
How is she?
Well, she's putting up a good front, but she's not like the old Bobby. Her eyes look so sad, and she doesn't have that wonderful glow she always had.
Oh, she had a rough time then.
Horrible. I don't see how she got the strength to go through it. I really don't.
Well, we're all going to have to help her, Georgia.
Count me in.
We'll get that old sparkle back in her eyes again.
Right.
Dr. Robert Troutman, OR staff. Dr. Robert Troutman, OR staff.
And, Robert, if you decide to stay on as commissioner, I think we can manage getting back that limo you like to use.
I'd rather like that.
Look, I can't tell you how much I want you to stay on here. The people of Port Charles want you to stay on.
I think you've done a pretty good job of telling me, Lee.
I wish I could be sure that I did a good enough job to convince you.
Food for thought.
No, wait a minute. Add this to it, will you? There are real opportunities for you here. There's a future for you here. There's no telling how long I'm going to want to be mayor. How long the people are going to want me to be mayor.
Of course they're going to want you. Anyway, politics just isn't my game.
Well, I just want you to know, Robert, there are opportunities about you.
I'll remember that.
Well, it's been an exciting year and a half, hasn't it, Robert?
Yeah. It's had its moments.
Take that business with Grant Putnam and the disc. Now, that was something.
Rather like that caper.
Caper? God, you call that a caper?
Well, pleasant little diversion.
Now, come on now, that was complicated and it was dangerous. Well, your own wife was in danger. But you were calm and cool throughout.
You got to be if you want to win out against the DVS.
And you did, Robert. Now, you did. And then there's that business with Grant Putnam coming back to town. Now, that was bizarre business, really.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, but you figured it out.
Well, with some help from Celia.
Well, some, yeah, but you did most of the legwork. I know that. And then there's the Beatrice murder. Now, you set a record in solving that one.
Lee, you're going to give me a swell head.
I want you to stay on as commissioner, Robert. This whole town wants you to stay on.
Well, I appreciate the compliments, and you've certainly given me a lot to think about.
Well, I guess there's nothing more I can say, but how soon will you give me the decision, huh?
Look, if I decide against it, I'll give you ample warning.
Okay. Now, how does Holly feel about the job, huh?
Given the chance, you'd take it away from me.
I bet you'd be very good at it, too.
Matter of fact, we've had several conversations about it lately.
Oh, good, because I want you to discuss it with her. You know, I think it might be worth my while if I took her out to lunch just to make sure she is on my side. I'll see you.
Bye-bye, Lee.
I was always on your side. I just couldn't tell you. But now I understand it. I hated the idea that you didn't know about Jimmy, and that you still thought you were going to be on trial for DL's murder. But we had to keep it a secret. It's over now. And you know, Holly, the one good thing that's come out of this whole messy affair is that you and I have gotten close again. I'm glad for that. So am I. I'm so sorry that we haven't spent more time together. We used to make the time. Remember when you were going there to Louis? We had a lot of fun then, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, that seems like a long time ago. I'll never forget how devastated I was when we thought that Luke was dead. And then when the government was going to deport me, you were one of the few friends who offered to help me then. You needed friends to help you in those days. And when I was expecting Luke's baby, there was a time there when I had nowhere to turn, no one to turn to. But you were there for me then, and I'll never forget that. Sometimes I forget that we can, child. I wanted to die, and I missed him. But you helped me through that, too. And you returned the favor when I had my hysterectomy. I wonder sometimes. Wonder what? Things might have been different for DL and me if we'd had a child. Different in what way? A baby might have brought us closer together. I don't think that a baby will bring a couple closer together if they're not close in the first place. Maybe. But if I had a baby now, I'd have someone to love. And I'd have someone to love me back without walking all over me. Is your relationship with DL really that bad? It wasn't great. Can I ask you a personal question? Isn't that what girl talks is for? Do you think you were ever really in love with Gio? I think so. When we first met, he was very charming. We had fun. But do you think that most of the troubles that you had were caused by the brain tumor, and that certainly did affect his behavior? No, I think it was more than that. There was something missing between us, Holly. There always was. What do you think? Whatever it is that brings two people closer together through anything, that common bond, something to share. That's why I think maybe if we'd had a baby. After my operation, it really went downhill for us.
Anyway, let's get my name on the dotted line right now.
Fall is a long way off.
Thinking the same thing.
You're not very excited at the prospect of being police commissioner for another 2 years, are you?
That's all right.
You're honest now.
Not really. But that's just my mood for the day, I think.
Still feeling restless, are you?
Sort of. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about our future today.
Oh, really? Tell me.
Well, what you said earlier about, living in Port Charles, how much we both like it.
I do. Our friends are here. It's a nice place to live.
A lot of good memories. It's where I met you.
That's exactly how I feel. Even more so after talking to Bobby today.
How was she?
She was a bit melancholy, but then that's to be expected, I suppose.
Bitter?
Well, she did a very good job of hiding it from me, but yes, I think she is a bit. But she is so sweet, such a dear.
Yeah. Bobby always had a big heart.
I always feel I can depend on her, no matter what. That's another reason why I like Port Charles so much, because of friends like her that we have here.
Then we are sold on staying in Port Charles.
Well, like I said before, it's up to you. I'll go wherever you want to.
I'd like to stay.
Well, good. That's settled then.
I mean, it's not as if a person can't get away whenever they want to, right?
In what way?
Well, yeah. I was thinking about something else today.
Yeah?
Remember when Valentine was here?
I knew it. It's Sean, isn't it? You want to join up the WFC again and go down
Wait a minute. Look, don't get your knickers in a twist, all right? I said I was thinking about it.
Well, it seems to me that if you really cared about Port Charles, you'd stay on the job and keep the crime off the street like you have been.
Don't. Darling, right. Now, at least working with the WSB, I wouldn't be spying on my friends.
No, you'd be doing worse things.
Holly, truth?
Can you even consider joining the WSB again? Suppose we had children and you were off in Istanbul somewhere or something like that.
Whoa, back up. Children?
Well, I presume that you and I will be having children one day.
Well, I think it's something we should talk about, Hmm?
I think it's something that one shouldn't really talk about.